Problem number 50th. A 5.2 gram bullet moving at 700 meter per second strikes a 700 gram wooden block at rest on a frictionless surface. A bullet emerges traveling in the same direction with its speed reduced to 450 meter per second. Here we have to answer for two questions. The first question, what is the resulting speed of the block? That means we have to find what is the final speed of the block. And in the second part of the questions, we have to find what is the speed of the block and bullet center of mass. That means we have to find V center of mass of this system together. So for that, what we have to do, we have to apply the conservation of momentum principle for getting the answer for the first part. And let's we just write the equation. So what is our equation? Mass of the bullet multiplied by speed of the bullet initial plus mass of the block multiplied by a speed of the block initial, which is equal to this one. That means mass of the block multiplied by speed of the block final plus mass of the bullet multiplied by speed of the bullet final. Clear? Now we are going to substitute the value, or we can do one thing better. We can rearrange this equation. By that the things will be easy for us. So that means if you see here, we are going to find the answer for this part. So we have to find what should be the final speed of the block. Now better we can substitute the value and then we can get the answer easily, because otherwise writing these things again will be really hard. So better I can do one thing. I will substitute the value for each and everything, and then we can find what is the final speed of the block. Actually this is block, okay, BLOCK. So let's substitute the value. What is the mass of the bullet? The mass of the bullet they clearly mentioned in the question. Let's just go back to the question. What is the mass of the bullet? Which is 5.2 gram. I don't want to convert to kilogram, because why? Because the gram get cancelled with this gram, because we are going to find the speed, so it will be cancelled easily. So if you take as gram or kilogram, the answer will be the same. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to write 5.2 gram multiplied by what is the initial speed of the bullet? 700 meter per second. 700 meter per second plus, and here mass of the block, which is 700 gram. But what is the initial speed of the block? Because it is at rest, so the speed of the block initially is 0. So anything multiplied by 0 is 0. So this term will be 0, right? So I don't want to write. So I can just put 0 here, which is equal to mass of the block. Again, what is the mass of the block here? 700 gram multiplied with V block final, because we have to find this one. Am I right? So block final speed we have to find, plus mass of the bullet again, which is 5.2 gram multiply what is the final speed of the bullet, which is 450 meter per second. 450 meter per second. Now we can rearrange this equation to find the block final speed. So I have to keep this term here. I have to move this term to the left hand side. By that we will get 700 gram multiplied by the speed of the block final, which is equal to 5.2 gram multiplied with 700 meter per second, and when you move this to the left hand side, this becomes minus 5.2 multiplied with 450 meter per second, and we are going to find the answer for this V block final. So I have to move this 700 gram to the right hand side of the denominator. So by that what will happen? V block final, which is equal to 5.2 multiply 700 minus 5.2 multiply with 450 divided by this 700 gram. So let's see what is the answer for the final block speed. 5.2 multiply 700 minus 5.2 multiply with 450 divided by 700. I got the answer here as 1.86. So the block final speed, which is equal to 1.86 meter per second. So this is the answer for the first part. But in the second part, we have to find what is the center of mass for the speed of the block bullet system. So we have to use the same thing, but this time it will be a little bit different. So how we have to write? So I can just give the answer here for the part B. So listen carefully. Mass of the bullet multiplied by speed of the bullet initial plus mass of the block multiplied by speed of the block initial, which is equal to mass of the block plus mass of the bullet together for the speed center of mass. So this CM stands for center of mass. So don't get confused, because we have to find the speed center of mass for the block bullet system together. So that's the reason I just make common, because we have to find the center of mass speed for the block bullet system together. So we have to write the equation like this. Now we have to substitute the value. As we already know, the mass of the bullet is 5.2 gram and the initial speed of the bullet is 700 meter per second. And likewise here, what will happen? The initial block speed is 0, so anything multiplied by 0 is 0, so this term will be 0, so which is equal to mass of the block here is 700 gram plus 5.2 gram, right? And we have to find what is this speed center of mass. Clear? So now I have to rearrange this equation. So therefore V center of mass, which is equal to 5.2 multiplied by 700 divided by 700 gram plus 5.2 gram. So let's see what will be the answer. So 5.2 multiplied by 700 divided by 700 plus 5.2. We got the answer here as 5.16. 5.16 meter per second. So the speed center of mass for the bullet block system, so bullet plus block, which is equal to 5.16 meter per second, and this is the answer for part B. That's it. Thank you.